now that Texas has lifted its mask mandate, now that the governor is gleefully declaring that Texas is 100% open and no more masks, well, all the conflicts over mask wearing are going to move to the doorsteps of individual businesses and facilities that will each have to make their own decisions about whether to require masks and how to enforce it if they're going to, given what the governor is saying and what the state rules are now. These conflicts have already led to violence across the country. A security guard in Michigan shot and killed at a Family Dollar store after refusing to allow somebody in without a mask. Another man shot and killed a police officer in Louisiana after the cop escorted him out of a high school basketball game for not wearing a mask. And in Houston, Texas, the AP reports that Police Chief Art Acevedo is worried about, quote, more aggressive encounters, like one in December when a customer confronted over a mask at a Houston bar smashed a glass over an employee's head. Houston police officers, for their part, will continue wearing masks despite what the governor is doing at the state level. Chief Acevedo says, quote, we can see conflict coming, sadly, and I think a lot of this is going to be self-inflicted. Joining us now, I'm pleased to say, is Houston's Police Chief Art Acevedo. Chief Acevedo, it's really kind of you to make time to be with us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm honored to be on.
Chief, do you feel like you have any lessons learned or any wisdom that you can impart to people watching tonight about sort of de-escalation when it comes to conflicts like that? I think in a lot of states, in a lot of different circumstances where there's all sorts of different types of mask rules, a lot of us have seen and we've all heard about scary confrontations where people who work at specific workplaces feel threatened and feel at risk by people coming into those workplaces and not wearing a mask. We've seen confrontations on street corners. We've seen confrontations among passersby. Have we learned anything about how to de-escalate those situations so that they don't end up in violence?
Well, sadly, when you look at the issues of violence, it's just up and generally across our country. And police chiefs think that COVID and the psychological impact it's had on the American people is impacting violence. What we hope people will do is listen. You don't get paid enough to have to deal with an angry person that, quite frankly, is so self-centered that are more interested in their so-called freedom than in simply wearing something that can save the lives of their fellow human being. Please don't get in a physical confrontation. Just let them go on their way. And if they're not leaving, call the police. That's what we're there for. And we're trained to hopefully de-escalate and resolve the situation. But we've seen police officers murdered. We saw here in Houston a young man, employee at a bar with a glass broken over his head, simply because we want people to be decent enough. Forget what the governor says. Forget what the law says. What does our own humanity call upon us to do? And that's to be cognizant that this is one of the best things we can do is wear masks to keep each other safe. And I'm hopeful that Texans are, by and large, good people, God-fearing people, people that care about their neighbor. And I think this will be a good opportunity, like I said in the tweet, for us to see who cares about their neighbor and who cares about themselves. I think it'll be very telling about the characters of the people that we live and work with.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.